We've all seen it, right? AI models doing these just incredible things. But the real head-scratcher has always been how? How did they get so good at complex, human-like reasoning? Well, today, we're going to play detective because there's a new theory that might just blow this whole case wide open.
Yeah, so how do they really get so good at this stuff? For the longest time, everyone thought the answer was just this crazy, super expensive training process. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real secret is something way more clever and, honestly, a lot more human?
All right, so in our little investigation, the prime suspect has always been this thing called reinforcement learning, or RL for short. Think of it like a super intense boot camp for an AI. It learns by trial and error, getting rewarded when it gets something right. We knew the big players like OpenAI's O1 were using it. The catch? Their methods were totally secret, which just made everyone guess and speculate about what was really going on under the hood.
But then, and this is where our detective story gets good, a brand new clue showed up. And it completely flipped the script. New research started popping up that suggested, hey, wait a minute, maybe reinforcement learning isn't teaching the AI new stuff from scratch. What if it's just unlocking these incredible reasoning skills that were already there, just hidden deep inside the model from the get-go? And this idea is summed up perfectly by a quote from the research. It basically says RL might just be harnessing the strong reasoning capabilities that are already inherent in the base model, rather than infusing new ones. So it's not a teacher building new skills, it's more like a guide or a key. It's not building a whole new engine, it's just showing the AI where to put the key in the ignition.
Okay, so this leads to the next logical question, right? If the skills are already in there, just waiting to be used, is there a smarter way to get them out? A more efficient way than running these huge, eye-wateringly expensive training sessions?
And you know where they found the answer? From a pretty unlikely source, human psychology. It turns out researchers looked at the best reasoning machine we know of, our own brains. And cognitive psychology tells us we don't just have one big thinking process. Nope, we have a mental toolbox. We use different tools for different tasks. We break problems down, we think back to similar things we've solved, we check our own work. You get the idea.
So that's what sparked this new approach. See, the old way, something called cognitive prompting, was basically like giving the AI a super long, super rigid instruction manual. Step 1, then step 2, then step 3, no matter what. But this new idea, cognitive tools, is a total game changer. It's like instead of a manual, you just hand the AI a toolbox. Now it can pick and choose the right tool for the right part of the job whenever it needs it. It's flexible, it's modular, it's just smarter.
So what's in this cool new toolbox? Let's break it down. First up, you've got understand question. Think of this as the AI's magnifying glass. It helps it really dig in and see what the problem is about. Then there's recall related, which is like its long-term memory. It can go, have I seen something like this before? Then you have examine answer, which is super important. It's the AI's inner critic, checking its own work for mistakes. And finally, backtracking. That's its escape hatch, its undo button. If it hits a wall, it can just go back to the last good step and try a different path.
Okay, that all sounds really cool, right? But theory is one thing. The million-dollar question is, does it actually work? If you give a regular AI model this little mental toolbox, does it really get any better at reasoning? Let's look at the data. Let's see the proof. And wow, the results are pretty staggering. So check this out. On a really tough test, a standard llama model gets a score of about 53%. Okay, give it the old rigid instruction manual method, and that goes up to 66%. Not bad, but give it the flexible cognitive tools toolbox, the score absolutely skyrockets to 80%. That is a huge, huge leap. It's all about that flexibility.
And it wasn't a fluke. This happened again and again, across a whole bunch of really hard math problems. Giving the Llama 3 model this toolbox led to absolutely game-changing results. We're talking about a performance jump of up to 65%. This isn't just a tiny improvement, folks. This is a fundamental breakthrough in how we get these models to think.
But here's the final piece of evidence, the real smoking gun. The researchers took a standard, off-the-shelf GPT-4.1 and tested it on problems from this notoriously hard math competition. By itself, it scored about 27%. Give it the cognitive toolbox, and its score jumps to 43.3%. Now, get this. The super specialized O1 preview model, the one with all that expensive reinforcement learning training, it scored 44.6%. Look at those numbers. They are practically the same. A simple toolbox gets you almost to the same level as a custom-trained beast of a model.
And that's it. Case closed. The evidence is overwhelming. We can get expert-level reasoning out of standard AI models, not by retraining them for months, but just by giving them a better way to think. A simple, flexible toolbox. The power was there the whole time. We just had to show the AI how to use it.
So why is this such a big deal? I mean, the implications are just huge. First off, it's way more efficient, which saves a ton of money and energy. It's also more transparent. For maybe the first time, we can actually see how the AI is thinking by looking at which tools it picks up. And maybe most importantly, this makes advanced AI more democratic. You don't need a state-of-the-art supercomputer to get top-tier reasoning anymore.
So all of this leaves us with one last really fascinating question to chew on. We've managed to turn things like self-correction and backtracking into tools for an AI. So what's next? What other parts of human thinking, things like creativity or intuition or even long-term planning, could we turn into the next set of tools? How much more hidden potential can we unlock? It feels like we've only just started building out this toolbox.